Lose yourself in a good book. The Gáis Energy Book Club.
Well, this month's book choice is Joseph O'Connor's The Thrill of It All. It's set in 1980s Luton. Robbie Golding is an Irish-born teenager. He meets elusive Fran Mulvey, an orphaned Vietnamese refugee. Together they form a band and they set out to chase fame.
We wanted to find out what some of you, the viewers out there, thought of the book, so we went along to Mount Marion in Dublin to find out what the International Women's Club made of it. Let's take a look.
We are the International Women's Club of Dublin, and we actually are two book clubs. We have a morning book club and an evening book club, and for today, for reading The Thrill of It All, we decided to get together. The book club is probably, well, between the two, I would say maybe 15, 20 years, the International Women's Club has had a book club. So it's one of our activities. Because we're ladies from throughout the world, we like to discuss different cultures, the diversity. So we will select stories, whether they're fiction or non-fiction books, from throughout the world.
It's about a rock band, rock and roll band that was based in the 80s and 90s, and made up of 4 people, Fran being the lead singer, and also he seems to have composed all the music, and some of it Robbie has contributed. So Robbie is the lead guitarist, then we have Tress the cellist, and we have Sean the drummer. And the 4 of them set up the band in Luton Polytechnic, and like all young people, they were very enthusiastic and ambitious and worked hard at it, unlike the X Factor.
I really liked Tress. I think she was an interesting character. She was quiet, but you could see that she was very powerful. That she could bring the other characters together and be gentle on one side, but very firm. And the brother was interesting because he never really he was a stand-in because they didn't have a drummer. But he becomes very much part of the story, and I think he benefits a lot from being in the story.
Joseph O'Connor writes it very much like a real biography, which was really interesting because it made me want to go on the internet and find out about the band, about the individuals, the kind of music they played, which of course I couldn't do because it was all fictional. But it goes into their lives and what they go through. I think if someone is in the music industry or enjoys reading about stories of people in the music industry, they would be able to relate a lot to the story.
I love the way he caught the language of Jimmy, in particular, his father. You could actually hear the accent. You really got the cadence of his speech patterns from reading. I thought he really captured his father very well. And I know it wasn't really the main theme of the book, but to me I relate it more to his description of his family life and where he lived rather than the musical history, because that was just too foreign. It was too much detail for me.
The structure of the book I found difficult just because Joseph O'Connor goes into a lot of detail about the music. And I don't know what his purpose is. He obviously knows a lot and that comes across. But I don't know if it necessarily enhanced hearing about all these different bands. A lot of the bands, a lot of the music I'm aware of. But some of it I wasn't sure if they were real or not, or just more thrown in there, and I don't know if it enhanced the story at all.
As I said, he is a writer of some capability, and it would be definitely an above average book, I thought. And it is humorous, and if you overlook the swearing that happens in every sentence, I do know that he's teaching creative writing in the University of Limerick, and if writing was my interest, I would certainly attend his workshops.
I think a lot of endings are always contrived. It was a little bit contrived. To me, it basically seemed like everything was suddenly very neatly resolved with getting the letter from Fran and the concert and the acceptance by Robbie of basically his life. It just all fell into a nice little neat package.
At the beginning, there was too much detail for my liking, because it's a band that I wasn't that interested about. as the band goes. But once the characters are developed and you get into them, then the detail is interesting.
Very lovely down there. Now, congratulations to Gearóid O'Connor from County Dublin, who was the winner of this month's competition. You can read his review by going to tv3.ie/book club.
Next month's choice is If You Were Me, the latest novel by Sheila O'Flanagan. If you'd like to be in with a chance of winning a book club goodie bag and Versus tablet, what you need to do is you need to send us in your reviews by Friday, July 25th. You can email them to irelandam@tv3.ie, or you can post them to Gáis Energy Book Club, TV3, Westgate Business Park, Ballymount, Dublin 24.
Lose yourself in a good book. The Bookclub Energy Book Club.